Alright, should be live. Just hitting... I'll just hit that real... Well, I can actually do tags. Oh. Interesting that was a tag that existed. I didn't want it to exist twice. Okay, there's that. And then... Thank you, Will Arnett, for telling me how to avoid the pain of big online data. Hi, SG. Wait, actually, he might still be listening to that. Eventually, hi, SG. Oh, no, you got that. Cool. Alright. Should be good there and there. Just do that. And none of those guys need to exist. And here we go. Right. So when last we left off, we had cleared out most of the side adventures. We went into the cellar, we went into Atlantis, and we went to the factory. So we now just have one route left.
Yeah, one more ending.
Mm-hmm. He's finally back in About Time 2, and this time he's in the mood. Maybe someday we'll do all the Diddy Kong games. No,
I guess... How many... I mean, there's Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong Country 2, I guess you could count Donkey Kong Country 1.
The lands
Diddy
you'd
Kong
have to
Pilot.
count.
What?
You'd count the lands, I think, if you counted the countries.
That's true too, yeah. And then, if you do co-op or something, you can make Diddy Kong playable on Tropical Freeze and Returns.
Oh yeah, or do just a challenge mode where you just play as Diddy.
Yeah.
Because I think you can unlock that.
And then there's Diddy Kong Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And then... I think that's everything.
Assuming
Diddy
you don't...
Kong Racing DS.
Oh yeah, very important. I suppose you can do all of the Mario spin-offs too if you really wanna, but eh.
So, ready?
Just a sec. So, Mario Hoops 3-on-3's time to shine. Legit, that is still on my to-do list, if for no other reason than the Final Fantasy characters. Alright, a couple real quick things off the top before we get underway. One, I've mentioned this on the Discord, but I currently have a bit of a cold. I am most of the way through it, so I should be just fine to stream, but if I sound a little scratchy or you hear, or I suddenly mute in the middle of stuff, that's me trying not to cough into the mic. And then I am on call tonight. I'm not expecting a whole lot of turbulence, but as always, if something comes up, I might have to go address that. I'm... fingers crossed, knock on wood. I'm expecting if I do get paged or something, it should be over and done with fairly quick. So I'm not too worried about that, but just doing my due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
SG volunteers to beat the crap out of both my cold virus and callers, which is much appreciated. Thank you, SG.
Maybe you could beat up the callers with the cold virus, like make them fight each other.
Sort of a reverse Dr. Mario, if you will.
Yeah, just rain the viruses on them.
I'd kind of like to see that mod. Alright. So somewhere in here is an alternate route. A route that involves not playing b-ball with a bunny.
did seem like there were quite a few roots in here, so it's probably through a window or something.
I suppose I don't need to spend it. Oh, darn. I'm gonna have to go back and get those coins. Very important. So I think for the most part this game is pretty good about readability in terms of what is and isn't a platform you can walk on.
Yeah.
Like, this door keeps throwing me off. I keep thinking that that's a bureau, but if I take a second to think about it, like, why on earth would there be a bureau in the middle of a city? They also are very careful to use different colored outlines to differentiate between this crate, which is with just its black outlines, and this non-interactable door with its beige outline.
Like brown.
Yeah, okay. SD suggests maybe someone's in the middle of moving, which, fair if true.
Yeah, it'd be interesting comparing the Game Boy version, because I've never played that one. Just seeing how, if that impacts the readability at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could imagine, like, with this being such an early Game Boy Color game, they were excited to try out all the different colors they could have. Like, it reminds me of Wizard of Oz, and, like, the transition to color is excessively colorful because that was a new thing at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, now that this has color, they're making full use of it.
Okay, let's see if I can do this without doofing it up. Well, we're already in trouble. Nope. Well, I don't know. This was, I know with, like, with, Link's Awakening, of course, that had both, a Game Boy and Game Boy Color versions. And the Game Boy Color version was pretty decent about retaining a lot of the a lot of how they differentiated things in the monochrome version.
Well, I'm not saying they didn't keep all of that stuff, but like they could also emphasize colors.
Sure. Darn.
Because it's better to do it multiple ways if possible.
We'll call that a mixed success.
And like Link's Awakening, though, is a great example of how hyped they were to use colors because of the color dungeon.
That's true. I did eat, but at what cost? Oh, there, that's the cost. Oh, and there's where I use the man.
For some reason, calling him a spearman's fine, but just calling him a regular man feels off.
Well, not as much as
he isn't even really carrying a spear, it's a trident, so he's neither spear nor man.
Spearman in name only, for he is neither. that's the way to the basketball court. Kelzer says, I love how this game allows enemies to knock you right out of the arena. It's something you don't see very much.
Yeah.
Very much in line with what we've been saying about how this game just enjoys in wasting the player's time in a good way.
Hey Lucas, we're doing good.
Hey Lucas.
We're going to hopefully beat this game today. I mean, beat this game for real, because we've already beaten this game several times.
You've beaten this game like 4 or 5 times already. Oh! Wow, that was actually very easy. Surprised I missed that before.
Any happiness from yesterday? Getting Pikmin 4 is nice. I'm glad that still exists.
Keep getting a Switch release is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd get it because it's a free game, but it's cool that it's getting recognition.
Yes, basically where I'm at with that.
Yeah. The great choices for Nintendo Switch Online. That's nice.
Yes.
But in general, it was kind of a lackluster direct, I'm not gonna lie.
Not a ton of specifics for me, but lots of stuff that, for the right people, I'm sure pretty excited.
Yeah, there were a lot of games that just didn't impact me directly, but I feel like I could enjoy them if I were more involved with the series. Like Octopath Traveler 2, for example, that's a game I still need to finish, so I am not immediately invested in buying the sequel. So.
Final chapter, Uncanny Mansion. Story 1, defeat the giant spearman.
And Tears of the Kingdom is similar. I still need to play Breath of the Wild. So.
Tears of the Kingdom I'm excited for. I'm glad I'm glad sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild finally has its proper title. And a release date.
I like the color scheme in here. It's fun.
Oh yeah, what is this? Red and... well, lots of primary colors, I suppose.
It's purple and green.
Oh, wow, I was way off. You go over here. Oh, wait, no, this is gonna be one of those where I keep falling down here and getting mad. Well, that wasn't an invitation, Punchman.
Oh, news about me? Wait, what was the last thing I mentioned about my life? Well, you mentioned that you were starting uni pretty soon.
Yeah, you'd, if I remember correctly, you'd finished college and were on to, uni.
Dead. Alive! If only coming back from the dead were so simple.
Yeah.
Cool. Uni starts on Tuesday, was Monday, but the queen died, so... Anyway, I'm moving out tomorrow, and I'm hella nervous. It's not too hard living by yourself, really. The only thing I'd recommend is just making sure you have some kind of social group, because it can get pretty lonely when you're just starting out.
Can be, for sure. Oh, darn. Now, are you moving into, dorms? Or what's the situation you'll be moving into? Like, You don't have to dox yourself or nothing, but just conversationally. Well,
Have 5 roommates. I'm used to having 6 with my family, so this is weird. So situation.
All right. So that should be interesting. Definitely having a. I was supposed to push down that bureau, wasn't I? Should be interesting having a whole new crowd to get to meet. We'll come back to that. It is kind of neat how the gimmick here is that going into each room will, going into each room will generate a different enemy based on, or in this main central hub, based on whichever enemy's, I don't know, icon is up top there.
Yeah, this is a really cool mechanic, and I think it fits well with the central conceit of Wario Land 2 because the enemies are important to progression.
Yes. I probably should not just try to jump blindly and hope for the exit. We'll come back. Come back to life. Ayo.
I think this might actually be my favorite level so far just because of its really cool high concept.
Go away, go away.
UK dorms work like everyone gets their own bedroom and space to themselves, but there's a shared kitchen living area. Some get en-suite bathrooms, some don't. You don't. Dorms are only available for first and second years. Third years have to go find a real house. I'm moving into a village of students, basically, where instead of like an apartment complex, it's a lot of houses where only students live, like right next to campus. It's interesting.
Oh,
That's basically what. That's basically what I did. Though that was when I was. That was like what my apartment was after the fact. We don't have a central. We didn't have a central area for my dorm room. That was basically just more like a hotel room, honestly.
Yeah. My school, or the school that I went to, our dorm rooms depended on the building you were in. But for most students, the dorm rooms were basically a single room, like you said, kind of like hotel rooms, where a single room would have multiple beds, and
Yeah.
you weren't really working with a whole lot.
Yeah, and then it's a shared bathroom for the whole floor.
Mm-hmm. But like one of my friends, he was in a slightly ritzier dorm building where it was like what you described, Lucas, where it's where they had a single common room and then everyone had different bedrooms. Shared for the whole floor. No, not for the whole floor. Like
Oh, it's shared for the whole floor for me.
Oh.
Or at least like half of the whole floor. But
not for me. For me, it was you'd have 2 beds to a dorm room.
well, yeah, but Lucas is talking about the bathrooms.
Oh, I see. Yes, bathrooms I had. And there we go. Bathrooms were shared for the dorms. Again, unless you were in the ritzier building, where each separate dorm would have its own bathroom.
and they were not co-ed, so that creates a lot of conflicts too.
Yep. There we go. Darn. Alright. I'm not being very smart with how I'm running past that ghost.
You gotta be patient.
Yeah, I'll have to assess the pattern when I get back there. Okay, let's...
2 bathrooms between 6 of us, jealous of my friends who got an ensuite. Okay, so how my uni did dorm choosing is you were in 4 separate groups based on last name. My last name is at the end of the alphabet, so I got group 4, and it was just first come, first serve, so I kind of got stuck with only ones that didn't have ensuite bathrooms. Kind of sucks, but hey, maybe next year I'll get a better one. Zombie Wario was a lot gnarlier in Wario Land 2 compared to Wario Land 3. Yeah, I could see that.
So like I've been looking up key arts for the games for doing the thumbnails, and it's interesting. Zombie well, I kind of had that coming. Zombie Wario has different art in Land 2 versus Land 4, and yeah, in the key art, he's way gnarlier in 2 versus 4. Like in 4, he kind of has some mushrooms growing out of him, and that's the worst of it. In 2, like, his shin is sticking out, and it's weirdly graphic for a Mario adjacent game. Like, it doesn't look gory or anything, but just, if you think about it, it's like, whoa, man. In fact, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have probably decided to use that that image for the thumbnail, so you're welcome. Oh, here he is. Oh, but wait a sec, we didn't get the treasure. Excuse me, Mr. Spearman, I will be back. Ah, damn it, I'm gonna have to do all this over again. Well, whatever. Now I know the pattern, now I'm good at the video game. I can do it. First try.
He does have a fork sticking out of him, though.
True.
That's gotta count for something.
True, that's a bit extreme as well.
And a nail in his foot.
Ah, the punchman. Go away. No one likes you, punchman. Damn that. Alright. Ah, shoot! Okay. Well, I can't mess this up twice. Come on, man. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, this isn't even the... Well, whatever. Fine. Fine.
Very important money.
Eventually, that man will stop punching. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. Oh!
I think bottom right on my side.
Yeah, it's not at mine.
Yep. A wall clock.
Anything happening with us two? Oh, not too much outside of the Nintendo Direct and whatnot.
Yeah, I just came back from a week-long vacation, so oop, don't do it. Don't. Oh, you did it. Wait, I just go there. Where did I go? I went to New Orleans. It was my first time going down there, so I had a pretty good time.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Wait, I don't want to. Do I? Oh no, I want to be in the other room.
Yes, New Orleans.
I'm trying to think of what movie Lucas would know that from. Lucas, did you ever see The Princess and the Frog, the Disney one? Okay. At the end of the movie, the town that they're running, and actually the beginning of the movie too, the town they're running through, that's New Orleans.
Isn't that like turn of the century though?
Well, yes, but. I'm getting all turned around here. Go. I think you're on the right track before. In the, Alright. And people watching the VOD are scrolling back 20 minutes going, come on, LB, come on, you were right there, you big doofus. Why do you do this to us? Oh.
Isn't there one up to the left too? No?
Oh. No window.
Oh, that's just the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just the door. Squish this man because I can. Okay, try this again. Into here.
I think it'd be kind of neat to see this concept, except all the rooms were identical, except for the enemies that changed between them.
They kind of, come to think of it, they did that in Virtual Boy Wario Land, in that game's Spook Mansion level.
Yeah. But just for this game in particular, because it impacts how Wario is and stuff.
Oh, sure. Since there's so much interactivity, both with the enemies that cause statuses and the enemies that don't. Come to think of it, that's basically what it is for Wario. Wario doesn't have power-ups anymore the way Mario does. Wario has status conditions.
Yeah. going out to bed, sadly. Need to be up early, but have a nice night, you too. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. Quick compliment before bed. It was really nice getting to check in with you. I always appreciate that you're able to come hang out with us and just catch up on our day, on where we're at and everything. That's really neat. Oh, compliment each other. Well, Gooms is a very nice friend. He's a very good listener, and I always am really excited to get to share with him stuff that I've gone through lately and get his perspective on things.
And LB's a very pleasant person, always very considerate of other people's feelings, and very always does his best to make the other person feel as good as they can in that moment.
Aw, thank you very much. Okay,
Also, thoughts on Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I'm glad Kirby's getting so much love, and Mecha Ability looks like a fun new series ad, but the cell shading effects and using DDD's Forgotten Land model for this feel off. If only because Return to Dreamland has established the series aesthetic for so long. I'll give it a chance, but I'd love to see another game like Air Riders one day. I don't mind the aesthetic changes so much. It's just that I personally am not super wild on Return to Dreamland in general, so getting a remake of it is kind of but I would like to see what additions they could have. I'm sure Mecha's fun, and like, considering the game doesn't have a lot of sub content, I think they could do a lot with post-game stuff and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the thought yesterday after the stream that Mecha has a good chance of being like Super Kong or the Super Leaf.
Oh.
Like,
yeah, it could.
Like, that'll we'll have to see how that actually shakes out and stuff. Because there's a ton they could do with that. It could just sort of be a retroactive call forward to
Robobot.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, here we are. Jeez Louise. Sorry, folks. But, like, I think of the modern Kirby games, the mainline modern Kirby games, rather, Return to Dreamland is definitely the most you can do stuff with. The one with which you can update the most. Like,
I don't know if I would necessarily say that, but I feel that it's the least complete, so it's more likely to get more content added to it.
I think that's what I mean. Yeah, it's the one that can that could stand to gain the most from having stuff added.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you checked literally every other room before returning here.
Yeah, probably. Well, don't look at me like that, Wario. I'm doing my best here.
So we didn't even mention it, but we just murdered a man again?
Yes. Some of them more than once. Alright, I have more thoughts for Return to Dreamland in a sec. So 3 or 9?
3, 9... or 5.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's 5. There we go. But as for aesthetics and or as for cell shading and chunky DDD, well, chunky DDD just kind of amuses me at this point. Like, yeah, it looks wrong in the setting, but I kind of find that funny anyway. So I'm just like, okay.
The thing about DDD is that he's always so wildly different in character design when no one else is, that like him being unfitting for the scenario is part of his charm. So I'm not super picky about character design for him. Like almost the more out of place, the better he is.
I'm trying to think of how to put this in a way that doesn't just make everyone sad. So Kirby is not a series to invoke criticisms of inopportune wokeness and stuff like that. Bear with me, I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
And not in the direction you might think I'm going. So like in any other series, you take a major character, you make them chunky. You have a weird contingent on the internet of people who are like, well, why are they making it so and so fat? This is so weird. This is so inappropriate and stuff. Or this is just all woke nonsense. Or I don't really care to really get into that, but like Kirby's not a series that invites that, and so when I see Chunky DDD, I kind of appreciate that the commentary is less about character politics or anything like that, and more just he looks silly. Which, yes, King DDD should look silly. He's a big silly bully that has begrudgingly become friends with Kirby.
I think that that says a lot about Kirby's specific fan base, just because I think the kind of people that would complain that a character design change is being too woke or whatever are too insecure about their own masculinity to be caught dead playing a Kirby game. So
yeah, I would agree with that. I don't want to dwell too much on the subject because, like I said, there's really no way to make it a pleasant conversation. But I just like that. I like that is what the conversation is that he looks very silly. And
yeah.
Yes, I will 100% grant if that seems odd to you. To be honest, I'm still kind of getting used to the fact that Chunky DDD is back after Kirby 64.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't take away from the character or anything for me. So like, sure, okay, if you really want that to be the direction, why not? I guess personally, I'm still used to thinking of all the characters in their Game Boy Advance designs, but so like even modern DDD in the 3DS games still looked a little off to me. So I guess I'm just kind of used to thinking that with DDD.
Well, it's just that even early on, DDD was constantly changing his appearance. Like Dreamland DDD looks wildly different from like Kirby 64 DDD, so, and Superstar DDD.
Agreed.
So,
like I know a Mario fan site that once. Oh, it's just right here. I know a Mario fan site that once referred to King DDD as a frog, and like there is a very specific era of the Kirby series where you could conceivably mistake King DDD as a frog if all you had access to were the games themselves. Like, that still seems way off to me, but I get that, at least.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's definitely gonna take a hot minute to get used to 64 era DDD being back for good. I don't think he is back for good. I think that in like 3 to 4 years or something, they'll come up with another new design and then go with that for a while.
Yeah, he'll be long DDD for a while.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what long DDD looks like. We'll find out soon enough in 3 years' time. Anyway, I'm guessing this is the obnoxious owl level that we were afraid of before.
No, not this one either.
Oh dear. All right.
It might actually be in Wario Land 3, I can't remember, but
so much
you'll
later
know
that's
it when
into the
it's-
next game.
you'll know it when you see it.
Fair enough. As for the cell shaded graphics, honestly, I'd have to watch the trailer again. I am reminded of how a lot of the game prototypes for Kirby GameCube, or the long road that led to Return to Dreamland. Ah, darn! Almost made it. The long road that led to Return to Dreamland. How a lot of those had a very heavy cell shaded visual aesthetic as well. So I suppose, honestly, Kirby is a series where I could believe that it's making a very deep cut reference to the beta version of its own game.
Could be. I don't hate it. It's kind of unfortunate that it's so easy to draw parallels to Smash 3DS. But I get what they're going for in that it's like it gives it a cartoony feeling, despite being 3D. It's kind of the same effect that something like Borderlands did.
Oh, sure. I think mostly where I'm at with the series with Return to Dreamland Deluxe is I really thought we were done with the series. I'm not complaining. I'm just having to recalibrate my expectations to going, nope, we got another curb to do on stream at some point.
Oh, we're gonna keep getting curbs every year probably, so don't worry about that.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Because it's definitely a solid B-list franchise. Like, it's not their heavy hitter, but it's always their consistent cash cow in the same conversation as the heavy hitters.
Now, I've always thought of Kirby as a C-list Nintendo series, and I couldn't off the cuff say what I thought was C-list versus B-list for Nintendo. I'd have to sit down and think about it. But these days, I would agree with you that Kirby feels like a B-list series. And I'm not sure when that change happened. Was Forgotten Land really a big enough release, or is that just confirmation bias for me having now played through all of the games?
I think it was a gradual change, but I could definitely see it being a C-list during like the GBA era, and into the DS era. But like, Return to Dreamland was part of it, but also just Triple Deluxe and Robobot and stuff, really building that Kirby fan base.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, darn. Oh.
They were selling it more specifically to the fans of those games rather than selling it as a casual game that anyone could pick up. Which it still is, but that's not its only selling point as much as it used to be, I think.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's Kirby has its Kirby has a deserved hardcore identity. Like, it's not the Dark Souls of Nintendo platformers or anything, but it's legitimately challenging, and it's not afraid to be legitimately challenging to its players.
Yeah, only if they're asking for that, though. It's always excluded to the bonus content and whatnot.
Yes, agreed. eSpoonser, thank you for the sub.
Thank you.
Regarding DDD's model, I just think, the way his Kirby and the Forgotten Land model isn't what I would have done. I quite like his model in 64, more perplexed by Forgotten Land in a purely technical sense. B, I like his Game Boy Advance and DS and Smash models more. But Forgotten Land is solid, plus it's a love letter to 64, and I love both. I can respect all of that. Let's see, can I sneak my way back? Nah.
I can see not being drawn to this particular design. It doesn't bother me much in particular, and that's just a purely aesthetic thing. And then it extra doesn't bother me just in the sense that it's probably gonna change in 3 years anyway, so it's whatever. And I don't think the feeling of it being different is necessarily a good reason for disliking it, just because it changes all the time. I would just chalk it down more to you subjectively not liking that particular design, which is fine.
Well, I'm trying to think, because I feel like I have a... I'm trying to remember if I've got specific takes on legacy character designs that where I like an older design than a newer design. Maybe Yoshi? I know some people feel very strongly about 2D Yoshi versus 3D Yoshi. But
yeah, sometimes I'm not as concerned as the internet seems to be about like character proportions and that kind of thing. I do sometimes feel that something gets lost in a character when they change it too much. And it becomes a different character in that sense. That could be either a good thing or a bad thing, but like an example of it is like if you look at the early Donkey Kong art, Mario is kind of more obviously a Popeye-esque character, like a
oh yeah, with kind of the big curly mustache.
Yeah, or like the stereotype of like a turn-of-the-century boxer or something. Just the high-class boxer. And that's an element of its everyman character that doesn't exist in later depictions. So if you liked him for that element of its character, I could see that turning you away from his newer designs. But if it's just a matter of different proportions, those don't tend to bother me as much as most people.
I think that has to be right. Yep. I sort of see what you mean, though, Jared, about the Kirby 64 DDD. I almost said DDD 64. Looking better or feeling more in place on the N64 versus in Forgotten Land. Like a lot of those proportions are consistent throughout the. I should really know this director's name by now. The three, the Dark Matter games. DDD has a lot of those proportions in all three of those games.
That's fair, and also the fact that it's an N64 game, so it's naturally assumed that they are going to not have a lot of polygons to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a nice troll too, that you can't actually go in the door until you raise those.
I was just thinking that, yeah. We'll be back.
But yeah, it's sort of like how Bowser looks a lot different in Mario 64, just because of the polygon limits. And you gotta understand that a little bit.
I sort of like chunky old N64 Bowser, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like,
although half of that is when he's sexily laying down on his side in Mario Party.
Well, yes, but like in Super Mario 64, I've never been intimidated by the one. You know, when you fight Bowser and there's the one camera angle and it shakes for a sec. Like, that's never been spooky or anything to me, but I'm always charmed by that just because it's emphasizing the big goober.
Yeah, I like the camera pan, how it starts at his feet and then moves up to his head.
Yes.
That's cool.
History points out DDD 64 is a boss in Kirby Fighters Deluxe. I suppose technically you're right, huh? Oh, these guys. Oh, zombie.
Oh! Well, this is one way to defeat them. Coming in handy.
Friggin' took long enough, jeez Louise.
Revenge. They know these enemies are annoying, and now they're letting you wreck house on them.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you both for understanding. Back to Return to Dreamland DX. I hope there's an option for the run speed, as many of the 3D 2.5D games feel sluggish compared to Squeak Squad and Amazing Mirror, which have more satisfying response times and flow to me.
Oh, interesting.
I doubt that they would edit that, unfortunately, but it doesn't personally bother me too much, but I could see how that might not be to your taste.
That is interesting to think about, though. I during the Kirby series, I expressed how I had a lot of difficulty with Kirby's Adventure because I'm used to the speed of things in Nightmare and Dreamland. So I'd be inclined to agree with you insofar as I'd get a lot of use out of a faster game speed, but
it just feels like Kirby is usually pretty slow, and if it isn't, that's an outlier, so I don't know if that would really be the case, that they'd change that.
Alright, my side top right. One thing I would be interested in, I think the thing I'll be looking for is if they add the spot dodge to Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Because I believe that was first introduced in Triple Deluxe, and that way changed how I approached arenas and stuff. So there's a lot of, there's a ton of potential there for Kirby to take on a very different feel, and that's one. It wouldn't surprise me if they added that, just because spot dodging is so important to the game flow of Triple Deluxe, of Planet Robobots, of Star Allies, and Forgotten Land.
Yeah. I would agree. I think that it's more likely that they would add new mechanic rather than changing the physics, which doesn't happen too often, especially not with a toggle, unless you're talking about Mario Maker, which is a different situation just because those are all going off of the new Super Mario Brothers physics. Even if that's not the aesthetic you're in.
Yeah, I'm still a casual enough Mario player that I frankly never noticed, but I'm sure that would way throw me off if I was more familiar with the different feels.
Yeah, they did adjust it a bit, so it's not quite as floaty, but it's definitely different. And honestly, one of the biggest problems I think with the new physics engine is the twirl, which I really don't like. And that's not in any of the other themes. Are we excited about finally having a release date for Breath of the Wild 2? I still need to play the first, so not me immediately, but I am glad that I'm happy for the people who are looking forward to it, definitely.
I'm excited it finally has a name.
Yeah.
But yes. May of next year is still quite a ways out there, but it'll be nice when it's finally time.
A toggle would be nice, like the grooves in Capcom versus...
Oh, right. Capcom versus SNK.
Yeah, Capcom versus SNK 2, or some modifiers in Brawl or Smash 5. Meanwhile, Mecha seems more like a riff on Jet. I think Suplex versus Wrestler, rather than a super guide in the vein of New Super Mario Galaxy 2, but I get the concern. Kirby's already pretty friendly to newcomers. Well, the only... I don't think that that's probably what'll happen, but I would be concerned because that would basically eliminate any potential interest I would have for it, which is a little unfortunate, but...
Mostly, I think... I've already been here. We're good. Mostly, I think Kirby doesn't really need a super guide.
I don't think most games need a super guide, personally, but...
Well,
I'm not usually
sure.
mad at them. That's... Yeah, as long as they're ignorable. I'm not the kind of guy to go, you did not beat the fucking game. But, just not something that works for me personally.
Sure.
Play games however you want to.
Five or 9? 5. That is the most 5. Almost there. Now,
Skull.
Now, what could be in those last 2 spaces? Who's to say? Was there
anything from Direct in particular that caught your eye?
really quick, Coming Back is Difficult is a very funny level name, I have to say.
Well, not a whole lot for me directly. We thought that the rhythm boxing game for
the Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star. We might do that just because it would be really funny on stream, but
yeah.
Other than that, I'm glad to have confirmation that Pikmin 4 is not dead, because at least now it's not just something whispered amongst the rumors that Miyamoto might be working on it, but an actual project. So that's nice. And I trust them a little bit more than I trust Metroid Prime 4 to exist, or like Beyond Good and Evil 2 to exist.
Metroid Prime 4, they've at least been very transparent about how they had been working on it, but they were having a lot of issues and basically had to restart development from the ground up, which sucks, but
yeah,
I really appreciate the transparency.
Was there a date for it? They said 2023, so not very specific, but yeah, there was a date. Really demoralizing to have the game offer to hold your hand when you're already struggling with a level, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not wild about that, and not like the Donkey Kong Country Returns style, where they you die 8 times and then it shows it to you. I'd rather it just be, if they do have it, it just be something that you activate from the menu.
Oh, I see. Coming Back is difficult because I have to have the Switch off. So I have to memorize where all the platforms are. That is a neat gimmick. I can at least use the Punchmans as a general reference point. And don't feel bad asking Teaspoon, sir. It's always appreciates having topics of conversation. Oops. Pat. In so much as Kirby's friendly to newcomers, genres, or gaming at large, without being patronizing or holding your hand. Last thing about Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I recognized a bunch of minigames from the Game Boy Advance / DS games, Spinny's game, Hot Potato from Amazing Mirror, but I also miss Quick Draw because the Old West feel is fun. But I say it with all the respect for Samurai Kirby homaging Kurosawa and his peers. I think I did forget about that. I think it's really awesome that they're bringing back all of the a ton of the classic minigames. That's a really neat touch.
It is kind of interesting that Quick Draw and Samurai Kirby are essentially the same minigame, but they could get away with either one based off of tropes that exist in both movie genres.
Well, I mean, it's like how Seven Samurai and the Magnificent Seven are the same movie.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any thoughts about Advanced Wars?
I hope it still exists.
I was just thinking the other day that we don't really have too many cases anymore of games that are canceled at the 95% completion mark, like how like Tetris on Genesis or
Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 2 or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really hope this Advanced Wars remake does not become that.
Yeah. I think a lot of that's just because it's so much easier to get a digital release now. They don't have to... There's less opportunity for it to fall through during the production phase.
True.
The distribution phase.
True enough. Much easier. Like, well, actually, Wario Land 2 here is a good example. So, the game has a Game Boy Color and a regular Game Boy version, but the regular Game Boy version was only released internationally, not in Japan. Presumably, that would be because by the time they were wrapping development on Wario Land 2, the Game Boy Color was so close to completion that it didn't make sense to release it competing version on original hardware, or it's not really competing. To dilute the marketplace, or however you want to slice it. But that sort of thing. A lot of those decisions would have historically been made because of oh, there you are. A lot of those decisions would have been made historically because of that delay between when development wraps and how long it takes to start shipping out en masse copies. You'd have to pull the plug a lot sooner in anticipation of a new major release. Now, like you said, it's a lot easier to get a digital copy out there, or that's a thing you can do now. So there still exists a place you can release games at the 11th hour.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Pokemon actually did a lot to change the perception of releasing multiple versions of the same game too. Just because that showed that, well, that has the reason, the excuse that you can trade with your friends that have the other version. I'm sure they also got some extra sales from people who just wanted to have both red and blue version. So for certain games it might be worth it.
I've heard for years that just that practice of releasing multiple versions is very popular in Japan. I don't know to what extent that's the case, besides that just being a marketing trend that Pokemon has established. But I also could absolutely believe that practice was brought into the mainstream, or that more willingness to do multiple versions was brought into the mainstream by the success of Pokemon.
Top right.
Very good. There we go.
As for whether or not I'll get it, I'm not sure. I'm in a weird place because I own and have played through the first game, but not the second. So it's kind of tempting to just leap on this one, but also I could just buy the Game Boy Advance version of Black Hole Rising. So
who's the studio that's doing the remakes? Is this Way Forward?
Oh, I'm not sure. Let me look that up.
Oh.
It is...
I remember it being some studio that I was excited about. Because I think .mu was doing what is it, the Metal Slug revival, which really glad to hear .mu's getting more work, but
Yes, it is way forward, but it's not on the official website for some reason, so I had to find the Wikipedia article for the Wars series as a whole. To find
okay. Weird, but okay.
Yeah.
I suppose they might not have it on the website because it's such an awkward position that they're in with that.
Well, no, the Reboot Camp is on the website, but it doesn't list that WayForward was the developer. It only lists that Nintendo was the publisher.
Oh, weird. This is all to say, it is tempting to get it to support WayForward, just because they do good work.
So glad Pikmin 4 is finally close to release for real this time, after a decade of development, and it looks great. As for Advance Wars, I want it to release and succeed. The characters all seem fun. Would love to see them in other gameplay systems as well. And Fire Emblem can't be the only mainstream strategy RPG forever. Plus, many people must be getting wary of it, regardless of overcrowding Smash. One nitpick, I would say that Advance Wars isn't a strategy RPG, it's just strategy. Which is the main difference between it and Fire Emblem, is that Fire Emblem has all of the long-running RPG growth mechanics, whereas Advance Wars doesn't. It's more mission-focused. But...
You do have some number crunching, but...
well, yeah, number crunching, but it doesn't persist between missions.
True. It is basically a lot more like Risk, I suppose, eh?
Yeah.
Seriously? I know I'm at the point of the game where I really don't need all those coins, but I want those coins, damn it. There we go. But yes, I am pretty excited. It is... I know I kind of had a muted reaction to it on stream yesterday, but it is nice to finally get confirmation on Pikmin 4.
I kind of had a muted reaction too, despite loving the series so much, but it's just a matter of, well, I'm glad it exists, but you didn't really show much.
Well, yes.
I think I do like the art style, though. I like the realistic vibe that it's doing, and it's probably the best realization of, like, that you're inside of a garden that they've always had, but has always been sort of vague in previous games. Now it really feels like that.
It's interesting. Pikmin is a series that's like, I'm trying to think of how to put this. I'm not someone who's really turned off by hyper-realism in cartoony platformers. But I'm also not... That's not... I'm not saying this right.
It's like... It's like the Donkey Kong Country effect of having the environment really hyper-realistic, but the characters in it are super cartoony, and I think that that's a fun dichotomy.
Yes. It feels like a very natural look for Pikmin. I guess part of me always thinks, or still thinks of Pikmin as having GameCube graphics, despite having played Pikmin 3. So it's But it feels like a very natural evolution of the art style into the HD era, I suppose.
Technically, the Wii U was HD, but whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of what I mean. I'm having trouble explaining stuff.
Yeah,
You
I
get where I'm
you.
going for, though.
I'm just being nitpicky now.
Nah, fair. I mean, I didn't want to murder him. You, don't let me murder you. There we go. Decided I could afford to murder him. Collecting haunted monies is serious business. See, you get it. I actually didn't want to murder him.
Mori is like Lenny from Graves of Wrath. He doesn't know his own strength.
Oh, that just makes me sad.
Oh, so Yamagami saying he can't imagine character interactions compared to FE is a load of hogwash. That's a cast bursting to show off the character dynamics in the hands of a good writer, and I'm not even a massive Advance Wars fan. Yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with the cast. It's just that... I guess I can see it in the sense that they're all commanding officers, so you're not... Like, you can't do support conversations in the sense of having a character interact with another character on the battlefield. Because you only have one CO, and then they just interact with each other outside of missions, but...
I have to be smart about this.
Yeah, I got nothing wrong with the Advance Wars cast. They got plenty of personality.
I suppose the difference is that, and I haven't played a whole lot of Advance Wars, but I played a little bit of the first one. I suppose the difference is that... Oh boy. Can I salvage this? I suppose a lot of the difference is that because the units themselves are generic units besides the commanding officers, that there aren't, to what you were saying, there aren't a whole lot of opportunities for that interaction.
And it does create the unfortunate situation that, like, since all of the character interaction has to happen between missions, that can make people think that it's filler that they don't need to know while they're skipping past all the dialogue to get to the next mission.
So that leads to the boss, so we'll come back. Come on.
The difference is that the Advance Wars cast wasn't made to look sexier V-shift. Oof. I mean, not wrong, but oof.
I expect people have their Advance Wars waifus or husbandos.
Well, shipping exists in all fandoms, but I think Collizer means in the sense that it's built into the game mechanics, the shipping and Fire Emblem.
Oh, true. with Way Forward had like the remake, the first part of that might change. True.
Yeah. Way Forward is interesting with its character design choices. I'll just say.
Oh, I see. So you're not just a hedgehog. Go, 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 go. Nice try, Ghosty. Alright, I can't, I have to make sure I don't mess up 5 times in a row.
It's your side.
I'm actually not sure where it is on my side. This does not bode well. Maybe top left.
That's what I would guess too.
Okay, good. Whew. Last one of these. Yep, this was it. Try upper right. Nice try, Esther.
Hooray, you ignored me. Well, we chose before your message appeared. So, unintentionally.
We chose to ignore you because you are dastardly. Oh, that coin's gonna bug me. But whatever. Go away, go away, go away. Go away. It actually looked like it might have been there to me. I wasn't trying to mess you up on purpose. A likely story.
That's what a messer-upper on purposer would say.
I couldn't put it better myself. Give me the goods, give me the goods, give me the goods. Goods. Out of here. Oh, damn. We've been uninvited from SG's birthday party. Goom, say you're sorry.
Can we go to your unbirthday party?
Oh, quick. Yeah, good thinking. Maybe. Okay, we're in the clear. Alright, here we... Oh.
In which case, we play the hero, I guess?
I think I'd be able to duck to avoid him. Yes. Oh, but he has the ability to grab me with the back of his hand. Rude. Ah, man.
My guess would be you have to jump and charge him.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, I wasn't around to mention it last time, but I appreciate that 2 of the final bosses are you having to rescue Syrup from some random monster. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's cool lore building and different plots and stuff, and it also serves to make the bosses a little bit more unique.
Definitely. I also just like the idea that Wario and Captain Syrup are vaguely frenemies. Like,
yeah.
like they can't really stand each other, but Wario's just kind of like, whatever. If this will
They're like bitter exes.
very much so. Easy. Honestly, the easiest final boss.
Yeah. He had some kind of tricky movements, but he is very quick to kill.
For sure. What is... Oh, it's a skull. Did we get a sugar skull? Yeah, whatever. Also, this dude has a cool design. Yeah, I like the big, bulky bracer arms. Is this a 4? Is this a 4? Is this a 4?
8.
Oh,
Could be 9.
it's 8.
It's 8.
This would be a great time to fail this. Don't encourage me. Oh, it's the thing we've known about for most of this game. That's the interesting thing in this image.
Yeah.
Great! Perfect! Now let's go get the syrup's treasure!
Look at this special animation that only exists right now. It didn't need to exist there. Great would have been just fine. But they gave us a fun little Wario animation too.
Well, Wario has to come out and personally congratulate you for contributing to his glory. You really needed that last corner of the Skull Rock to get your bearings, I guess.
Maybe it's like a key that you have to put in. And we're not collecting pieces of paper with those. We're collecting like stone tablets that lock together.
Oh.
So we're assembling a map key.
Kind of like, this is fresh in my mind because I've been replaying Crystal, like in the Ruins of Elf.
Yeah, kinda.
Well, anyway.
And that's game.
Out of here! You guys too.
Money.
Wait. No! I forgot this was a dream sequence. Wait a second.
And that entire sequence didn't actually exist.
And that's... dream? I can't believe I saved the babe in that timeline.
That doesn't really make sense though, because like... That's not an alt-time... Well, it is an alt-timeline, but it's one in which Captain Syrup never took it. In the first place.
Maybe all of these sequences actually do happen. They just play out differently. And this is like secretly the prologue timeline where it's the night before Wario dreams of what might happen, but he gets kind of all muddled and ends up in a haunted mansion for some reason. SG suggests not playing basketball retroactively makes it all just a dream. Basketball is the key to the canon timeline. It's like the
basketball is the newest time machine.
It's like the Song of Storms, how it necessitates and creates a time paradox just by existing.
So this is Captain Syrup in the balloon, so I guess now she's going to take the money?
Or maybe the dream was real.
So he didn't get his money back?
Yeah, he's still falling to this day.
Oh. See, I interpreted that as he made it out of there, but he just lost his money. But your interpretation's even better.
Yeah, no, the rest of the extended Wario Land and WarioWare franchise is just all a fever dream happening as Wario falls endlessly.
Wario Land 5 must be really boring then. You're just falling the whole game.
It's sort of a Zero Time Dilemma, where there's the one time where it's split into multiple paths again, and the one timeline confirms everything else was just falling. I assume that's what happens in Zero Time Dilemma. I never actually finished it. I
don't know much about it. I know the first two games, don't know much about ZTD.
ZTD is, on a high level, ZTD is about preventing the bad stuff that happened in Virtue's Last Reward.
I see.
SG suggests he fell so long he fell asleep and dreamt he woke up from a dream in which he was falling. Yeah, that's the right of it. Oh, no,
yeah,
see...
Here they're coming.
Confirmation, it was a prequel!
So, I guess that means that Wario had a premonition.
This legitimately actually is the timeline where Wario dreams about his adventure before it happens. Exactly! It's, Wario's got the whole prophetic dream thing going, but only when it relates to money, and not basketball.
I didn't know Wario was a psychic.
Well, Waluigi had to get it from somewhere.
Fair.
And now that we've won, the game shows all the boss stages for funsies.
But what's that down there?
Well, we will have to see. Bear with me a sec. There we go. Save this real quick. Let's not overwrite progress. There we go. Load it up one last time. Oh, and Wario's here again to congratulate us. Alright, here we go. We now move on to game. Flagman D.D. Dangerous Duck.
Click help.
Well, we can 1, we can 2, we can 3, we can 4, we can 5, or we can 6.
Yeah. So this is based off of the second ever released Game & Watch game, Flagman, which is Basically, Simon Says.
Oh,
But
Flagman was
this
that
is-
early.
Yeah, it was right after Ball. Part of the Silver Series.
Oh, okay.
And this is a little different because it has a 5 and 6, but it's the same basic principle. And Dangerous Duck right there is holding the flags in the same way that Flagman does, and even has numbers on his foot in the same way. I think it's just the 1 foot in this one though, and it's both feet in Flagman.
Oh,
But
okay.
whatever.
How'd they do that in Flagman? Was the D-pad at like an angle or something?
No, it had 4 buttons.
Oh, okay, just buttons.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, fair
All
enough.
separate buttons. And there 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side.
Oh, makes sense. All right,
Yeah.
let's give her a go. Alright, come on, give me the weird dudes on the side. Okay. There we go. I have to unlock the dudes. Okay, good. You can make some jamming and remixes with these few different sounds. I bet someone has. Yeah, these are good good notes.
I feel that playing a lot of different Game & Watch games, honestly. A lot of them help you really get into a rhythm. Vermin especially is real good for that.
I suppose the flat zone songs in Smash are basically 100% on point then, huh?
hmm
All right.
They add sense to that, but yeah.
Slightly bugs me how the clouds don't move like the water or the characters. Huh.
That's because they're a tile and the rest are sprites, but yeah.
Okay. trying to practice different memorization tricks I've learned over the years.
You're
Splitting
pretty
up.
good at it. You're better than I am.
Thank you. Splitting up the. Okay. Splitting them up into different sequences is helping. So, like, I'll try to pace these out based on the sequences I'm trying to figure out with these. Okay. Da 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 foot. Oh, there's a boat. Don't let that distract you now. Foot. 2 foot. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh boy. Da 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 da. Foot foot. Okay. Jared points out that that's totally Mr. Game & Watch in the back there. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, I only now remembered that this was Simon Says. Wait.
Although, actually, it can't be Game & Watch, Mr. Game & Watch, because he didn't exist until Melee, and this was before that.
Oh no, I've messed up. Dun. Okay. Take it from
Why?
He's so distraught. Dun dun. Oh, I did have it right. Oh, right. Okay. Dun dun. Foot, left, right.
Yeah, it could be Flagman, I suppose.
It's actually Atari ET. The only problem with this is I can't provide very good commentary while trying to do this.
No, go for it.
Dun.
Just want to see how far you can go. You'll lose eventually.
Atari, after joining Witness Protection Program, living out the rest of his life in obscurity. I like that. Oh, what did this settle on? Was this foot? No.
No. Look at
There's
those eyes on those guys.
The guys are so flabbergasted. Oh, it was 5. Okay. Oh, double twos. 225.
You almost got enough for a perfect 5-star score in Game & Watch Gallery 3. Not quite.
Really? 25? That's low for Game & Watch Gallery, but also that is really high for just simple memorization.
Yeah.
Dangerous Duck Looks like the Control-Alt-Delete guy after being asked if he's heard about video games.
Not wrong.
Well, crap. Should I try for 25? Or is the audience going to have patience for that?
No, don't do it.
Alright. So, just a freebie thing, but very cute that they added that.
Yeah. And it's good for a portable game, too, because, like, you can get infinite content out of that if you beat the game and just need something to play. So, it's always nice of them to include a bonus minigame in a portable game, I think.
Mm-hmm. Jared says, actually, I'd laugh if E.T. got a new licensed game from Activision, and it was a contractual obligation from Spielberg/Universal to include E.T. for the 2600 as an extra. E.T.'s had a couple of games since then over the years. I know he had a Game Boy Color outing that is also one of the, like, I don't know how well it's sold, but you can buy it for like $0.01, so it certainly didn't sell very well.
Or alternately, it sold so well that it's super common now.
That's true. Alright, let's not dilly-dally. So, after all the timelines have resolved themselves, and all of the adventures, Wario with treasure map in hand seeks out the cave. Not sure why it activates for him, but whatever. And he enters and discovers the really final chapter. Time attack. Steal the syrup's treasure.
I love that name, the really final chapter, because it's so self-aware after you face the final chapter so many times.
I love how much this game just doofs with the player.
Yeah.
Alright.
I really like this music, too. It's very ominous, and I love its breakdown.
So, I know you've got a lot of respect for this level. I've got a lot of respect for it too. I have to admit, this is a very Dadaist level to respect.
Oh, well, yeah. But I like how Dadaist it is.
Oh, for sure. Like, who in a million years would go the weird body horror angle with this final level?
Yeah. I dig it, though.
Like, I've never understood what's going on here. Oh.
Takes a while to build, but I really like this song. And then right here.
Oh. Okay.
It goes hard right there.
I actually way didn't remember that breakdown.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. It's, I mean, not on the same level, but it's almost Monty on the Run-ish.
Yeah.
Just on how hard it goes.
Yeah. Also, this level is... I really respect it because, like, this is a great example of how it's just, like, the epitome of being annoying that this game revels in.
And it's a time attack level, too, so you're constantly on the rush or you constantly feel like, I just gotta keep going, just gotta keep going.
Yeah. I just really respect how blatantly this level loves to fuck with you. Like that skull helicopter is in exactly the wrong place for you.
Mm-hmm.
In most games that would be obnoxious as hell placement, but it's so perfect for this game.
You know what it is? This is a very art house level or video game level, if such a thing can be said to exist, for a series that is way not trying to be a high art.
Yeah.
Oh crap. Oh jeez, Luis, this jump too.
Those weird turnaround jumps are just the best in this level too.
Bye.
See ya, Spoonser.
See you, Spoonser.
They're like almost pixel perfect, kind of, but they're just so awkward. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Still surprised you've never done a D4 video on this level, TBH.
At some point, yeah, it's definitely on the block for it.
If nothing else, we're getting pretty decent footage for it here.
Yeah. Another annoying jump right there.
All of these are obnoxious jumps.
Yes.
Okay, but what the hell's over there? Oh well.
Slowly crawl.
Oh, I need to find an enemy from somewhere.
I wonder where. You killed him.
Oh. Awkward.
Slowly crawl back.
No shortcuts, I just have to... Just... Oh. It got me.
Rip.
I got. Oh crap, I have to do that whole sequence again. Oh no! Well, I deserve that.
Yes. Curiosity killed the cat.
And that enemy just exists to waste your time.
Yes.
In a pinpoints obnoxious spot. Oh, I mean that works.
Kazumari definitely has some of this level in its DNA. Yeah, definitely.
There we go. It's interesting too because Kaizo Mario as a rule, tends to be very fast, and this is just such a slow level. But that's as much down to Mario is a very fast character, Wario is a very slow character.
Yeah, this is a good example of like a Kaizo style level that's still accessible to most people because it's so much slower. It's almost like you're playing a Kaizo level in slow motion because it still has the exact same precision that you need, and there's only one way through the level. But just because the game is so much slower,
Oh boy.
Most players can do it after suffering quite a lot of frustration, of course.
Mm-hmm. Quicker to do it this way.
Kaizo Wario.
So garlic, I guess.
Yeah.
And they also specifically chose an enemy with an obnoxious projectile that will track you from way the hell over there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Oh. Well, I mean, okay. That's how you want to do it. There you go.
I like that you have two ways to move this guy up, and both are super obnoxious.
Absolutely. Maybe it would have been easier if I took the other way around. Excuse me, sorry.
Well, you're gonna have to now.
Oh, okay. Alright, hold up a sec.
Actually, I think you only have the one way. Yeah, you might not be able to move him through that tunnel.
Right, sorry about that. So, one thing to note while we're on this pause screen, note that best time is 59 minutes, 59 seconds. My first playthrough of this game, I failed that time. I did not establish a new best time, so... Now granted, that was also, like 20 years ago now. But, still.
Oh yeah, this level can take you forever.
Time to see how much you've grown in 20 years. Hopefully a decent amount.
No, you can take him through there. It's just janky.
Oh, and I have to nail this shot as well. Jeez Louise. Okay.
No, that one's not too bad.
At the very least, you're able to... the game establishes several checkpoints here for you to cross.
Mm-hmm. Oh!
It's so randomly horrifying. Just the mouths and the ears and the enemies that appear to be petrified and suffering. What the hell is the lore of this place? Oh, right! I forgot about this! Enemies can rest on that ledge, but Wario can't.
Yeah, that's also a very Kaizo Mario thing.
I was just thinking that.
There's a sprite that lets you do this in Mario ROM hacks called F90, which was originally just meant to make slopes work, but it also has the function of, like, sprites interacting with it, but the character not.
Mhm.
And so this is the same kind of gimmick.
Also, Kelzer asked at one point, why does Kaizo Wario equal garlic? Mostly a joke. There's a Kaizo Mario hack where you play as Wario called Garlic.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, probably in like the top 10 of Mario ROM hack. But we know quite a few. It's like a passion of mine.
And Gooms is Butin bringing me up to speed on a lot of them. Yep. Ah, shoot. Okay. Wait, no, I have to bait this guy all the way over. So now the question is darn it, is this level impressive to see as done as a speed run? Like, I mean, obviously it is because it is a time attack, and just by its nature, a fast playthrough of this level is impressive. But that is only obvious to someone who has. That would really only be obvious to someone who's tried to play it themselves. I don't know that, like, a casual, just someone casually watching this who hasn't gone through the rest of this game would really get. Well, he played through the level. Is that?
Yeah. I know what you mean, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with it not being necessarily good for it being a spectator thing. Because for the people that do understand the frustration of this kind of level, like, it would make it that much more appealing.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I don't mean to... Darn. That's not a knock against the... let's see if I can bait this. Whoops, that's
See ya, Jared. One last question before I go. Any spin-offs or crossovers you'd like to see in the future, old or new, Nintendo or otherwise? Well, bring back Wario Land, obviously.
Bring back Wario Land. I mean... This isn't an answer to the question, but I know you've been dying for Star Tropics to come back.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest. Crossovers are... Honestly, Smash is so thought-terminating for me, like, just, that is the crossover that I enjoy, but...
I would love to see Smash do any other genre.
Agreed.
Like, the Smash games are fine, but, like, there's so much potential in that.
Agreed.
Do an RPG or a strategy game or a racing game, hell, anything. It could be fun.
Mario Kart 8's third-party choices have been really fun for that reason. And but also fun
not
because...
third party, but...
right.
Guest characters.
Right, thank you.
You choked.
I was almost there, and then I wasn't there. I'm not a huge Star Tropics fan, but it would be cool to see a Star Tropics 3 with 1 and 2 as unlockables. Honestly, I'd just settle for some major re-release. But that would be pretty awesome, too.
I want a new chibi robo that's more in line with the original, but get rid of the spiders, screw their obnoxiously loud music. But set in an apartment and help out with different living structures, from single parents to multi-generational living to an old person living alone. I want Chibi Robo to make me cry for some reason, damn it.
Oh.
Well, we're thinking about going through the Japan-only fan-translated DS sequel, which is apparently very much in line with the original Chibi Robo. So maybe that'll be fun as a stream.
Yeah, I know very little about it except that it is a proper. Wow, okay, that it is a proper sequel.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the whole level, just because of how brutally obnoxious these jumps are.
Look at me, I'm doing the Mega Man footsies here.
Yeah.
Mega Man is not a fast platformer.
You got it down relatively well, but this... that was hell when I first did it.
Oh, I bet. Oh, these jerks.
You only know the park one, which doesn't cut it. Yeah, this is a totally different game. It's Jenny is grown up, and I think you are in her house, so it might be. It deals with similar kinds of themes.
I think she's a single parent.
Yeah, maybe.
That's basically the only thing I know. Oh, hello. What's this? If there's this section just makes all of that bird climber. No, it's just here to taunt you.
Haha, you thought it'd be easy.
Oh, that's great.
Screw you, buddy. Love that. That's a real Lisa climb up the rope and get met with a middle finger moment.
No, but I really like your suggestion, Kelser, of making it of doing a Chibi Robo where he's with the community specifically. There's a lot of really interesting. Oh shoot! Oh no, it's okay.
Respawn it, I think.
There's a lot of really interesting things that you can do with the whole community aspect that I don't think Chibo really touched on in the original. A little bit.
Do the diagonal walls on the intestine... Do the diagonal lines on the walls look like intestines to anyone else? I can see that, yeah.
100%.
Fit with the body horror theme.
Like weird tumors or something. Go. Introducing the mechanic, iterating on the mechanic.
It's like a perfect showcase of all of the most annoying mechanics in platformers. I just love it for that.
This is probably what Kirby's insides look like. How do I can't do the short hop. I have got to do... Oh, wait. I can cheese this if I can turn around and... Right. Alright.
You can cheese this, huh?
Well, I thought I could. Iframes. Iframes! Iframes!
No iframes for you.
Oh, I ran out of coins. That's not a good sign. Oh wait, what if I... No.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I think you have to slide and jump while ducking. heard that.
Wait. There it is.
Just use speedrun tech.
The mouths are drooly too. It's so gross. Next one's gonna be B.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with those.
You're supposed to avoid the water and navigate the maze as flat Wario.
Oh.
The deadly drool.
Darn. More like ay frames, am I right? I'll give you that one. Was this too far? No, actually, this was just fine. And in fact, it would have really sucked had I taken that middle one after all. No easy ways out.
And here is the final boss of the game, Giant Spearman.
It was leading to this all along.
He's the true villain.
Nope, I missed. Is he laughing? Oh, and I go to the humiliation drool room.
He lost to Giant Spearman. Pathetic.
Oh, but it just starts there. That's not too far. Oh! Okay, one, that's the sound of him walking back and forth, and two, I have to juggle him up there, otherwise,
Yeah.
The trick is when you have to attack him with butt stomps, but it's a lot harder to control your horizontal momentum when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
At least got him to change colors, that's something.
I gotta love them taking the most pathetic boss and turning him into the hardest one.
Alright, I got him to Blurple? Indigo?
Yeah, that's about right. Oh, that was a good rhythm.
The trick... Alright, there is a trick to doing high jumps there. I like as well, theoretically, you've been practicing for this. This is not the game introducing a bullshit mechanic in the final level. This is what you have been doing more than anything else. It is way more fair for the game to have Giant Spearman as the final boss here than it is for Captain Syrup to show up here. Got it! Landed in the middle of the W. Done.
Nice.
So that's what, 6-1?
I just love that it's the most underwhelming boss possible after the really final chapter and everything. Just, here's Giant Spearman.
Mm-hmm.
So great.
The game does not respect you enough to give you a more meaningful boss. 7-1. Fair enough. But your reward... fat
Money.
sack of cash. Or whatever. And that, finally, is game.
Yep. That last level is probably my favorite level in the series. So I really, really do appreciate that. It's just so deconstructionist and so emblematic of what the Wario Land series, and it's such unique identity.
It's an enjoyably unpleasant game to play. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a game that hates you. There's lots of games that's, there's a lot to be said about games that are designed that to hate the player, or that have that dislike the player for one reason or another. Wario Land isn't that, or Wario Land 2 isn't that. It's just a game
like,
that delights in being icky and wasting your time, but providing a challenge and constant rewards for doing so, for persevering through the game's ickiness.
yeah, it's like frustrating, but also fun. And you'd see that kind of design philosophy later on with games like Getting Over It and that kind of genre. I think Wario Land 2 is sort of a forerunner in that kind of thing.
I would agree with that. Kelser suggests it's the gaming equivalent of a pleasantly numbing spiciness on the tongue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not overly hot. It's not, oh my god, don't touch your eyes or go to the bathroom, spicy or anything like that. But more of a, oh, okay. It's a, I have no concept for how much of a figure of speech this is in general, but my family has a saying or a phrase that we sometimes come back to for a favorite pain. Like, something is obnoxious, but it's kind of fun obnoxious. That's a favorite pain. Like like if you've exercised a lot and your legs are really sore, but there's that knowledge that you've accomplished something in getting your legs that sore. That's a favorite pain. Oh,
and
hey!
there's Giant Spearman.
He's not done yet!
Time for his revenge.
Or like a Saturday morning kids cartoon villain's idea of devilishly evil. Exactly!
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is really pushing boundaries for a 98 platformer, huh? Not only that, a 98 8-bit platformer. This is... Game Boy Color was 8-bit, right? I'm not just...
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you're right.
That's not even getting into the amount of complexity you have with the branching path lines or the branching story lines, or... there's just so many ways this game is super ambitious for its era that I've always had a ton of respect for this game.
Yeah, me too.
I've said before...
Yeah.
Oh no, go
And
ahead.
revisiting it, it's given me even more respect, honestly.
I would absolutely agree with that. Alright, what's it gonna do? Oh. I guess he is friend now.
I want to see Giant Spearman in another game. He deserves it.
He doesn't even have to have a major role. Just have him show up. He's just crashed at Wario's castle. Giant Spearman
Giant
for
Spearman
Smash.
for Smash. Totally.
legit, that would be a decent Wario Land assist trophy. Like, syrup first, but after that, giant spearman,
sure.
why not?
Yeah, just have him walk around and you can attack him, and then eventually he dies.
Mhm.
That's all he needs to do.
Giant Spearman does show up in the fan game Make a Good Mega Man level, episode 0, if that's worth anything. Probably one of the best levels in it, too. Huh.
Well, fair, I suppose.
Giant Spearman does kind of have that metal daddy vibe, doesn't he? Giant Spearman and Bandana D tag team in some Mario sports game. Oh crap! Yeah, Giant Spearman kind of is like Bandy.
Mm-hmm.
Does kind of have that same vibe. I'd be into it.
So, click something.
It's just gonna be stuck here forever.
Yeah. I think that the treasure chest never actually opens on the map screen. So, it's like... It gives you the feeling that it's incomplete, which I kind of like because the level is so dickish, and also it has the time limit, so you could keep replaying it indefinitely to get your score lower and lower. I seriously doubt there's anything you unlock for that, but it's a nice way to continue the pain if you want to keep it going.
There's an alternate timeline where there's a million playground rumors about how to open the chest in Wario Land 2.
Yeah.
Like, you have to use strength on the truck and then beat the postman in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
No, but I think I said before that this was my first Wario Land game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was my first exposure to Wario. I'm sure I was at least aware of Mario Party first or stuff like that. But yeah, no. This was a very cool way to be introduced to the character. Just a game that is at times kludgy, but always deliberately so.
Yeah.
SG suggests do both of those and then stop and swap the cartridges for Wario Land 2. I like that. So, what do you think? Do you got any final thoughts?
No, it just really makes me sad that another game in this style doesn't really exist besides Wario Land 3. And we'll get to that too, don't get me wrong. But,
even that takes a pretty different approach, though. It's similarly open-ended, or it's similarly experimental in terms of level flow, but
yeah. I just more men in the way of like the gameplay mechanics and stuff.
Oh, sure.
But that too, definitely. And I do kind of... It just would be nice if we had more games in this vein. And we are getting some fan games that are... Or not fan games, but spiritual successors that are at least kind of continuing the Wario Land series in their own way. Like you have Pizza Tower, and you have...
was it Anton Blast is the new one?
Yeah, and then you have King of Cards, which all take some DNA from Wario Land. But they aren't. They take on the more modern styles, which I like too. But I feel that 2 and 3 are just very different in how they approach game design, and Well, I'm happy to have more Wario Land in any form. Yeah, what I would really like is a sequel to 2 and 3. I'm not picky at this point just because of how dead the series is, but if they, for some reason, brought back a game in the style of one of these games, it would make me so happy. It would be an instant buy for me.
I'd be over the moon for something like that, yeah. A sequel to 2 and 3, I think, would be niche and audience size by nature these days. I don't argue that.
I don't argue either, but man, it would make me so happy.
If they could do like a budget, it as a budget game, I don't know how they would, but if they could just do a budget release that is Wario Land's 2.3 or Wario Land 4 2/3 or whatever, that'd be neat.
If they could somehow find a way to sell it like the way that they did for Getting Over It and stuff, maybe they could bring it back, but I don't know if Nintendo's self-aware enough to do that kind of thing.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
But alright, I think that'll about do it for us for this game. Now I know it's still pretty early, but I actually think I'm gonna call it here for tonight. I'm sure you've heard me still having a bit of troubles with my cold, so I don't want to be up too late. I don't know how long my voice will hold out, but next week for sure we will be starting Wario Land 3.
Yep.
Another one I've really been looking forward to revisiting.
Yeah. That'll be a lot of fun. It takes on a bit more of like a Metroidvania style to the game, so that's interesting.
For sure.
So we'll see how that plays out, and I hope you join us next time.
Absolutely. Until then, take care.
Yep, bye-bye.